Hi Virgo, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you a bonus tarot reading, which is definitely intended to be timeless. So whenever you were guided or drawn to this video / reading, it's meant for you. So thank you so much for joining me, but I do want to take this moment to remind you, of course, to like this video, to leave me a comment about your situation, share the video, and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And when subscribing, don't forget that little notification bell, all right? But more importantly, when meditating on your energy overall for this reading, the message that came through was over it, but ready for it. Over it, but ready for it. And do keep in mind, this is a general reading for the sign of Virgo, all signs within your chart, and if you're joining to hear about a Virgo in your life as well. But let's get started and pull some cards. So let's do some shuffling so we can pull some cards from the Gilded Tarot Royale deck. Actually, let's do some shuffling this way. Bear with me. For our lovely Virgos, thank you, Spirit. For our calm Virgos. Ooh, a little bit all over the place. What else do we have for Virgo? Thank you, Spirit. We don't want that one. What else do we have? Okay, we are going with all of which. Interesting. Okay. So we're beginning with, let's actually organize them real quick. And this is exactly how they want them laid out, interestingly enough. So we're beginning with the King of Cups. I'm hearing, ugh, so annoying. There's a situation you're dealing with at this time, whether it's a work, a relationship, your family, your friends, just, it could be literally any situation at hand at this point for you, Virgo, and it's truly annoying. At times getting the best of you, even though you don't show it as much as other signs would. You feeling or sort of flustered within, but coming off very composed and put together. I'm hearing I just step away and deal with it, and at times you're like, well, why can't other people do that? And Spirit saying it's not always the best method. You sort of needing to confront the issue at times or sort of deal with it at hand. Feeling a bit emotional within, even though there's just a bigger part of you that doesn't want to admit that or show it to those around you for whatever reason pertains to you the most. And there's a feeling that you are consistent with what you've been working towards, but for a lot of you, that's what you're frustrated with. It's like you're over certain details, or little things are just getting the best of you. Now I'm hearing, why am I so frustrated? And it's a lot of you Virgos who will push yourself to ask important questions like that in order to figure out where the frustration is stemming from. But, you know, those of you who don't end up asking those questions on your own will be pushed by Spirit in the universe to sort of do a little bit of discovering within and kind of figure out why you're getting so frustrated. Not necessarily just the source of which, because that may be quite obvious, but more so, why do these little things or bigger things get the best of you at the end of the day, or at least within? Why do you find yourself not just sort of being like, okay, it is what it is? And we're moving on to the World. As you move forward, you'll find that your world is changing. And Spirit saying, or a different Spirit saying now, well, a lot of them already realize that, so you're kind of telling them what they already know. And that may be frustrating you while you have certain people around you being like, let me tell you this about yourself or about your situation or about something within your job situation. And you're like, I already know this, and it's like almost an insult to your intelligence or an insult to you as an individual and all that you've overcome and the progress you've made up until this point. And now I'm hearing, why do you have to frustrate me? There's just a huge part of you that's just like, just let me be. I know what I'm doing. And I'm seeing a lot of you sitting in a work environment, whether it's an office or not, just simply being like, I know how to do my job. Just please let me be. And if you're starting a new job, it's like you sort of already knowing how to go about that specific choice, opportunity, but feeling as if you still have to learn the ropes and kind of go through, someone teaching you how to do things. All of which frustrating you regardless of how this pertains to your specific situation, and you needing to kind of dig deep for that enjoyment. It's like you're split. Part of you is really frustrated and annoyed and simply over it, like the overall message says, and the other half of you, or whatever percentage each ends up being for you, is really excited, as you can see in the imagery. It's just sort of ready for something new, or ready to achieve something, or ready to sort of change this and that up in order to see better results in your life. You feeling a little bit less calm than you normally are, and that's because of all these sort of built up emotions within, or frustrations, even if they don't sort of overwhelm the calm and sort of ready side of you. I'm hearing, be you and let the rest be, plain and simple. And we're moving on to the Five of Cups. And being drawn back to the world, as I see the lion and the bull down here, it's when you sort of feel torn between the two sides of you, the two feelings, feeling a bit overwhelmed at times. You're reminded of all you've overcome up until this point, all of the difficulties that you've had to encounter, and how much wiser and stronger all of which has made you. Five of Cups. As you move forward, and all of which starts to transpire for the good and for the bad, you find yourself drifting to the past. Mentally needing to stay focused being truly essential for you at this time, given it is so easy for you to focus on what's gone or what's not working. Even if you're not finding yourself drifting to the past, it's you sort of feeling a bit pessimistic, feeling like those around you just don't get you, or just know how to push your buttons, even if they don't know you very well as an individual. Let the cups fall as they may is what I'm hearing now. Feeling that a lot of Virgos need to sort of let certain opportunities and situations dissipate from their life as smoothly as you can, just sort of needing to take a step back and see how things pan out instead of trying to analytically control how things unravel. And Spirit saying you normally do a very good job of going with the flow as a Virgo, giving your sort of calm, but there's that analytical side of you that sort of wants to mull it over and figure out the sort of equation that's going to help you get the best result, or see a situation pan out perfectly. And at this time, it's going to be most advantageous to take a step back and once again let things just unravel as they may. Let the cups sort of fall or stand as they're meant to. Changes are meant to happen, and they're going to stress you out to a certain extent, but it's a matter of you coping with those stresses in the best way possible. You asking yourself, I do know myself pretty well at this point, even though you're still changing, developing, growing. So how do I deal with these stresses? How do I best cope to the point where the side of me that's ready and feeling more calm and cool and collected starts to take over and shine more than the frustrated side? We're moving on to the Four of Swords. You feeling like things are moving pretty damn quickly these days, even your mind, feeling as if you want things to slow down, but you don't think that's an option, right? You feeling like the changes that are happening, you kind of need to take a different sort of less controlled, less analytical approach. The emotions, the two sides of you once again, all of which is leaving you quite burnt out. Stay present as you give yourself a little bit of downtime, or you find yourself taking a step back to rest and kind of regroup, sort through your emotions and your thoughts, and for a lot of you Virgos, trying to adjust your perspective all the meanwhile. Why is it that you find it so hard to rest at times these days, when normally it would be so easy for you to be like, screw this is frustrating me, I'm gonna take a moment, step back, and just do my own thing, I'm gonna rest. Feeling like it was easy to kind of balance the work and the relaxation slash self-care, or the social life, and all of, basically all the areas of your life. And nowadays it's hard for you to kind of force yourself to have that downtime, to implement more focus, or put more of your resources towards other areas. Do you know what I'm saying? It feels like you trying to strive for certain improvements and the completion of certain goals has been such a focus, but it feels like you don't have a choice at times. I'm hearing rest, rest, my friend, rest. You need to allow yourself the downtime to regroup once again, to sort through a few things, to feel more centered and balanced, and therefore frustrations won't get the best of you like they have been recently. And you'll find yourself being 10 times more capable, finding it 10 times easier to allow for certain changes to come to be, and to sort of be one with how things are meant to unravel. And we're moving on to the Five of Swords for the second half of the spread. I'm hearing a never-ending battle. A lot of you Virgos at this point feeling, after you've taken a moment, even if it was a short, hot moment, to breathe, to gather yourself, to sort through a few things, to recharge. It just almost reminds you of all that you've had to overcome, or how exhausting your life has been. And Spirit's like, it wasn't meant to remind you of the frustrations, of the difficulties. It was meant to sort of help you get a better handle on things, and realize that you can do all that you need to accomplish. You know, you can overcome certain obstacles that are in your way, but it's not about finding, once again, that perfect equation, or analytically sorting through it. It's about adjusting your perspective and just going with the flow. And Spirit's saying you're still feeling really ready, but being aligned with the King of Cups, you're feeling quite emotional at this point. Feeling like certain emotions that have built up within you, that you haven't expressed to those around you, or anybody in general, are starting to resurface. You know, almost like you're about to combust and just start crying, I feel, or just you want to scream at the top of your lungs. And Spirit's saying you need to find a way to express yourself, even if that's through art, or through, you know, writing. If you can't, you know, actually, excuse me, as my hand stiffens up, if you can't just actually find somebody to speak to, or to shed those emotions towards, find another creative way to express yourself, as those emotions will continue to build up, those frustrations will continue to build up and explode at one point in time. All right, it's about taking care of yourself in that sense, and finding, once again, creative ways to do just that. And we're moving on to death. And for whatever reason, I felt the need to say Death and Rebirth card, which is the name of it in the Light Seer's deck. Bringing a meaning to this card of you sort of feeling like things are coming to an end, as you're sort of going through this personal development and rebirth, feeling like you're changing so much as an individual, as everything sort of either stays completely the same, or like with the Five of Cups, are knocked down and just wiped away, making room for new situations to come in. How come I'm so afraid of what's to come is what I'm hearing. There's a huge part of you that's, again, ready for what's to come, ready for the changes, ready for the new, or ready for to go after what you deserve. But there's a part of you as well that you at times want to push aside and not acknowledge, that's afraid or nervous for the future. I'm hearing the future is bright, the future is peaceful and calm for you, Virgo, but you have to view it that way. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself changing and developing, and without meaning to, manifesting a less peaceful, less content, sort of less successful life for yourself. Understanding and getting a better grasp on the fact that your manifestation skills are quite strong at this point. being aligned with the world. It's a true reminder that your world isn't the only thing changing at this time. The people and situations around you, you are too. And that's a beautiful thing. So embrace it, be one with it, and don't allow it to bring out certain nerves within you. Allow it to make you feel bold and brave for what's ahead. And we're finishing up with the Queen of Pentacles. And as I get a little bit nervous due to the background noise, Spirit saying that was purposeful to kind of remind me of, or to get me into that nervous energy that you're experiencing due to certain changes and developments. But you sort of doing what you can moving forward to calm yourself down, to relax yourself, to center yourself and ground yourself once again, to feel like a better version of you as you continue to develop and grow. I'm hearing I'm ready. And there's just part of you that leaves all those concerns and worries and struggles behind, or just does what you have to do once again. And you're like, I got this, right? Feeling better about your job, your financial situation, about your life in general, and just doing a better job of, along with the Five of Cups, allowing the cups to fall as they may, or allowing for things to stay somewhat the same if that's the case for you. Feeling like in some cases things are not moving or not changing at all, and in other cases they're changing 100%, completely. And allowing yourself to embrace both sides of the development in your life. And the same goes for you as an individual as well, realizing that not all parts of you are starting to change or continuing to do so, but certain parts of you are. Remembering to continue to go with the flow, continue to do what's necessary for you as you implement certain new levels of self-care, developing new healthy habits as you continue to realize that just because you're over it doesn't mean you can't be ready for it as well. With that said and done, I hope this reading was truly helpful. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you have the most amazing day, week, and month, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Virgo.